What do you think, buddy? Are you tired as I am? Oh my God. What time did we get up this morning? What time did you go to bed? Oh my God. 3 a.m.? We were in Fresno. We flew home and got in bed at 3 o'clock. And you got me up at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, mister. What's up, everybody? Let's see, get out of this chair. Ace. Welcome to Tennessee. I am back home in Tennessee. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I want to thank you for such a wonderful trip in Fresno. We had an amazing time, all right? And we did get up. I just wanted to throw that in there. We got home. I got home at 2:30, got in bed by 3, got up at 6, and been going all day. And I know I'm going to crash here in just a little bit, but it's been a big day getting back in the saddle, being gone a week. I wanted to say thank you to everybody who came to see us in the Fresno area. We were so, I don't know, I was just so taken back by people who had driven 4, 5, and 6 hours to see us. And it was one after another, after another, after another. And we had people brought gifts to us. And it's mostly just the thank yous and the stories about their lives and how our Incred-I-Box has really affected people's lives of the affordability of getting a home. I met a lot of builders there that I didn't have a chance to even go talk to. They came over and visited, which I was so glad. I meant to go in there and talk to them. I just didn't have the time. And but met the Zach, who is from Tiny House Nation, I think. He came over there. Look, Lissa, step up, Tom. She's wanting to go by you. She don't want to be filmed. And he came by, and you guys, I think we did that video. I think it's on YouTube. So he came by, and we talked to him. Shout out to Zach. Thank you. It was good to get to know him. You see him on TV a lot. And, of course, when you meet him, everybody's the same. We're just normal people, you know. And but the folks that we met that came there and had got to see the Incred-I-Box at the first time, and Amanda decorating that house was gorgeous. She's not here right now. She's heading to New Mexico tomorrow for a family wedding. I think it's her cousin's son is getting married in New Mexico, and it's be real pretty. So she's heading out. She just got in last night, had to pack up today, wash some clothes, and heading back out. So I'm kind of glad she's getting to extend her little bit of a stay. We worked the whole time. Naomi and Rio, thank you for putting us up. Everybody got to see a little bit of the videos we did at their house and the preparing of the food. And I want to shout out to them right now. I miss Naomi fixing me food. Listen, I got up this morning. I didn't have a meal until about 11 o'clock. And then I just stopped and fixed me something. And I got to go to the grocery store and get something that's back to cooking for myself again. Yeah. So I want to go out to the shop. I want to show you a little bit about what's going on, how everything's progressing. But I wanted to say just a shout out and thank you to everybody from Fresno and the Fresno area, the Fresno Home and Garden Show. We will be going to a tiny home show in Phoenix, the first weekend in December. I think it's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Whatever that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is, and we'll let you know more details on that. We're also looking at some shows in Florida, Quartzsite, maybe San Diego. I wish I could keep one on the road and go to all these shows because I think it's real important that we pull up into a tiny home show where, you know, you have tiny homes, and I'm talking about the price range from 55 up to 200 grand, right? They're beautiful homes. All those builders there. We had Pacifica, California tiny homes, Pacifica tiny homes. Tiny as a mountain. Oh, let me give a shout out to these guys. American Built Tiny Home. They were there. American Built. We got, it says, Benton Custom Furnishings. Let's see. What is the other one we got? Repurposes. We got Tiny Mountain Houses. He was a cool guy. I like talking with him. Texas Star Christian Magazine was there. And then Laura's Eye, that was one. Anybody, people were coming up and giving us these and who they were. And we got there, didn't even have brochures ready. We just took off, you know. So we had to write everything down. And so the tiny homes that were there were gorgeous. There were some really well-built homes. And, you know, they've been going to these shows. And they were local builders. We're not. We were from all the way from back east coming across the country. So we're thinking, hey, how can we make this impact? Well, it's because nobody's building homes at $20,000-$25,000, and nobody's doing a slight DIY, decorate it yourself home. And so people coming there got to see Amanda's decorations and what we did, putting the pallets on the outside of the house. We'd got some grief from it. People were saying, oh, what's the ugly looking pallets on the outside of the house about? And they found out what it was after we put our greenery and flowers and decorations around the windows and all the border stuff. And all that stuff comes from Amazon. All that stuff you can order and have fun with. And what I like about the Incred-I-Box is you can put it up, you don't like it, take it down. And it doesn't hurt the house. You can use magnets to hold it up outside too, or inside. Mainly, if the wind blows, I put screws in the house, right? So if you take all that down and now you got these little screws in the house, all you have to do is take a little bit of silicone, we call it Lexel. That's a real good product because Lexel you can actually paint over, and you can putty those holes up, paint it again, and you're done, right? Majority of people are not going to put up and down things. They're going to just probably figure out what they want and leave it, like wood siding, vinyl siding, some stonework, or some kind of pallets like I put on there, and they're going to stay. Shutters, trim around the windows. So in this time coming up, like this week and probably next week, I'm going to show you how to do those things. I'm going to show you how to cut with a saw and put that air conditioner in. We're going to show you how you can stucco over those screws and what that looks like. We have some people call it, they love the stucco and they love the swirls in it. We're going to show you how to do that. We're going to show you all the plumbing, electrical, and the framing, and as we build these more and more, even though we've done a lot of videos on this, we want to show you the simplicity in our homes. We had a builder look at our trailer and he said, that trailer's too small. He said, it's too simple. And I said, exactly. That's what I wanted, a simple trailer. And he looked under and he said, you have cross members every 48 inches. Well, Tom and I have always done not unethical, but not the same as your building industry. Like everybody would go 2 foot on 16 inches on center or 12 inches on center and all. When it comes with strength and load and our common sense and how we think about things, we don't care to take that chance because we've been building so long, and when you just, common sense tells you how things are built and how strong they are, and in the test of time, we've been doing this 8 years now, and I think we've probably we have got to build what, Tom, 1,300 homes?
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
And they've all done great. Going down the highway 80, 90 miles an hour. Some have been in
the ditches.
In the ditches. Yeah, they've been in the ditches. Some of them ran off the road and flattened all 4 tires and didn't flip. And I mean, they were great, So they've stood the test of time. Hurricanes, several.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had one. The Incred-I-Box withstood 90-mile-an-hour winds, and it was strapped to the ground.
Yeah.
So think about that, 90-mile-an-hour winds in a hurricane down there. And I just wish that information can be documented and sent to all over the places like codes and people that would say, well, that thing looks flimsy or it feels flimsy, when it's really not, So a lot of this stuff we've seen over the years. We know how strong and durable and well built our homes are. And then you put on the spray foam in between the studs and the sheeting and all that. It's just an amazing, these homes are stronger than the homes we probably built, Tom and I have built, when we first started building, And I like building on the trailers because that's your foundation. And just to bring that up as a point, people were talking about ADUs and not being on a trailer. You guys know that these axles can be stripped off. We can make tongues that are detachable. You can set it up and done, and it's going to be on a permanent foundation, which is you can lay block all around it, put piers on it, wood piers, concrete piers, and it's on a foundation. It's done. So the actual trailer gives it some rigidity, gives it some basis to stand on. And so I liked when he said it was too simple. And then when I explained to him how our home was fastened to that trailer and how we anchored everything together and how nothing can rack and move on these Incred-I-Boxes, he had to actually think about it and say, wow, that does make sense, So I'm going to keep this going because I don't know how to edit a film. All right, and we're going to walk out here at the factory, and I want to show you a little bit. There was been some guys that I met. They wanted to see the factory a little bit more. I wanted to show kind of what we've been doing out here today. where we're going. We are now in the building of our Grove homes. We've got 72 home Grove homes to build. And I think we're probably, what, Tom? 5, 10, 15, 20. We're probably about 20, 25 homes in. We had 75 to build, and we built the smaller ones first. And then we get into the 10 by 20s and the 12 by 20s. And we'll start them. I'd have to get with Lucas and give you all a timeline. So the biggest thing that we want to do, Will had just left, and the biggest thing we want to do is we want this ticker number to be on our website so you guys know that are interested in selling our tiny homes, our Incred-I-Boxes, and knowing where we're at in construction. So let's say we went out to the show and we sold, I don't know what we sold, but if we sold 10, right, we can build 3 in a day. That's about a 3-day build cycle. So that's going to be added to the end of our last construction site, that if you sold a house today, we got to add 3 days to that. So if we sold a house today, you're going to get it January 15th. So if we sold 10, then we're going to be 3 days to that. It'd be January 18th. And then we got to look at the calendar because we only have 4 working days per week, right? And weekends, so we can't just add the 18th if it went through a weekend, right? So anyway, we want that information to be on our website so you can see our people, our folks that are selling our homes for us, and you as guys that want to buy our homes, you can say, hey, oh, look here, if I buy one today, I'll get it February 11th is what we're looking at. And then tomorrow, as our documents come in and our emails come in and our sold contracts, and we only consider anything sold is only when we have money, right? And when you do that, then we'll put you on there and the numbers continually go up on the build cycle, all right? Look at Ace. Point down there at Ace. Look at him. It was so good to see him this morning.
I think he died.
Yeah. You ready to go, buddy? Come on, let's go. All right, we're going to keep the camera going and take you guys out here with us. It's good to be back home. I really enjoyed California and the people that we met. But to get back home, normally when you go on vacation and you come back, it takes you a while to get used to it again. You're getting back in the saddle. It was nothing. I mean, it was like I just fell into my footprints in the concrete and it just grooved right in. So if they got the radio on, I got to yell at them. Here is our corbels, and I'm not forgetting about our model homes, our wood stick model homes. They're gorgeous. I'm going to be doing a show on them this week too. But these are our corbels that we do that hold up our 30-inch overhangs. We get those built at a separate facility. We have a gentleman doing that for us. I love it. These are primed, and we paint them with our LP siding paint. I wish I had a model home in California. It'd have turned heads.
You're going to the Almost Friday, right?
Yeah.
So you do a video.
There you go. I'm going to go down. We're building a Birmingham up there. Yeah. So come on in, you guys. I want you to see the guys working, what's going on. Hey, they're still cutting it. It's almost 5 o'clock. That's a good sign. Hey, guys. So we talked about some of the guys that were up there in California were wondering about how we build, what we do, and you guys can look down this aisle right here. You can go ahead and show that, Tom, and how we're doing. Now, we're starting to do some amenities, right? So we're adding amenities to these houses. One amenity is upstairs. You guys see that upper window in that house? Now, that's a 20-foot home. We're making the lofts 54 inches for a full-size bed. But that upper window is an egress window. And that is an amenity that doesn't come with the basic $25,000 house. But if you want to have an egress window, I encourage it if you're going to use that loft as a sleeping area. It's great to have an egress to get out of the house, right? So, but when we build it, we're building it for storage. And my philosophy is to get you guys in a home for the lowest cost that I can. So anything that we do is, we call them upgrades. We're going to do an upgrade and we can charge them. You don't need an egress to live in that house. But I would encourage an egress if you're going to use it as a bed. So that window up there is an egress. Well, we actually got one down there too. So there's 2 egresses. And we're finding out people are really doing the upgrades. So they're putting in windows. Let me yell real quick on this. Okay, can you turn the radio down? Radio!
Mic good?
Huh?
Mic good?
Yep, mic's still good. Yep. All right. Good. We get pinged we have music going all day long. I wish music could play on the video because it makes it sound so much better, you know. Come on, let's walk this way. Now remember, we're gonna show you a video tomorrow of some of our model homes, and then we're gonna do some technical videos about stucco, finishes, stuff that we did at the Fresno house to make it look as decorated as Amanda did, and how we fasten things to the wall. Now, some people have been wanting to know about these gray panels. We don't know what color we're getting. Like this one here is mix matched a little bit, but they just come however, you know. So these, if they come that dark, we don't want to mix them with light. So we try to keep the whole thing, and then we're finding out, wow, it looks really cool, right? It looks awesome. So then on the back side of our trim, it's silver. And they flipped it. If you go on the back side, it's a different color.
We should seriously have that as an option.
And now we're thinking about painting them. Yeah, I mean,
Hand pick them and then have that as an upgrade.
I know it. It looks, you don't even have to paint it, you know? You want to keep it the way it is. We'll show you another video of this after it's completed done. These are our 20-footers. As you can see, we got 20-foot homes coming through the line, everybody. The reason we went 16s, I thought 16s would probably just be it, right? I thought, you know, you can always go bigger. We can go 22, 24. I'm not going to do that. Our whole building was built around 16-footers. We're already getting cramped. You can see how close our assembly line is as we wheel them through here. Hey, let me show you real quick on the plumbing end of this thing. So Kenny's the supervisor on this end of and he's putting all the water lines, the drain lines, and the electrical. He oversees all that, and he's got a crew here that he has trained to do this. We got all these cool tools. Everything here is done systematically to fit a certain, everything, all the styles that he has here, the patterns. We have pre-plumbed things that'll fit in place. Like what I was liking when we were in Fresno is this plug right here, all right? So this is a plug that goes underneath the house. And underneath the house, you have your water and your sewer. I was talking to Matt, and Matt was setting up a house somewhere, and he said he gets a fee to set it up. So he jacked it up, everything, put it on blocks, and then when he put the water power sewer underneath there, he said it was awesome to have that plug right there. He said, you guys have got this down to where it's so convenient. All of our utilities are right here. Now the one thing we've made is the drain for the sewer. Are you still making it go down the middle?
Yep.
So we've changed it to go down the middle because if we have an off-grid house, we got a 35-gallon tank, and Kenny puts it in the middle and straps it, right? So that holds it up in the middle of the house, and if you don't want the tank, that's fine. So the only thing is your outlet of your sewer will go straight down in the middle. It used to come out here on this side, but I like it in the middle, it's fine, and it's underneath the house. You're never gonna see it, especially if you put skirting on here, it's good to go. Our trim, as you guys can see, waterproofing. As you can see right here, we've already got a vinyl floor on this house with no walls, nothing's even on here. We take our vinyl, right, and we put it here so the guys won't scratch up the floor as they're building the house. All this angle iron here is when our wall sits, they'll grab the wall and set it on here. They have a flange that goes over this. So any water will not get behind that because there's a flange over it. And then on the inside of the house, we screw all these walls down, and so it's notched out with the flashing on the outside. This is cool. I like it. All right, come here. How'd you do today?
I do great every day, boss.
Huh? Good.
I do great every day. What's up with you?
How you doing on your 20-foot walls? How's it? Because we went from 16 to 20.
No problem. We're doing the double suction cup lift
Okay.
on everything now.
Everything.
So the roof system gets double suction cups. Both walls doing good. And even started the egress windows today. So
I seen that. You got two of
I
them.
love that. It looks awesome, don't
Now,
it?
do you put the egress window on the wall, or do you wait till it's up on the
No,
house?
we do it right here.
Right here.
Yep, we do it before we stack it.
Isn't that
So
something?
we didn't that one, but we did that one.
Right. So you
So-
got to Yep. Get in a groove with it.
So before the guys stack the back wall, the egress window will get put in, and actually hopefully tomorrow we're going to get ahead of production on that and do one of each color. That way the top section will just be ready for the egress window, because it costs the guys a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Cutting that extra window, taping it, waterproofing
Yep.
it, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to do one each color ahead, and then that way that'll just be done. If it gets an egress window, we look
Perfect.
on the notes and just
Good.
put it together.
Good.
Save a little bit of time there.
So, and we're about maxed out on a 20-foot wall, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because I was explaining to our YouTube followers, to get a 30-foot home and a 24 home, you're changing everything.
Yes.
It changes dynamics,
well,
man.
I think what did we run a while back? We did one 28-footer.
28.
Okay.
That maxed us out.
The 128-footer, the roof section of that maxed our crane out. And we did the double suction cup lift on that.
Yeah.
And that's all that'll do. So if we added another pound, the crane just physically wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But we can do it. I mean, we can do it. We can do it
possible.
safely.
Yeah.
28-footer. Anything longer than 28 foot, we're gonna have to make some kind of. We'll have to do double crane
To be on a production line, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I like doing the 16s, because we know we could do it. It wasn't real heavy. We could manhandle if we had to, until we got these over here. And these are okay with the lighter weight we're doing.
Well, I mean, like if we got into a slew of 28-footers, then we would just double that up.
Yeah.
Of course, I've already ordered a lot of parts to beef this up. That stuff is already en route. We just haven't took delivery of it yet.
Yeah.
And then, so the way that I'm going to refit that, we could add another crane down the road if we needed to.
Got it.
And so then we're back to going green. Because I already foresee your trend, Randy, of going bigger. And so I'm trying to prepare for
No,
that.
I'm not going to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I love the mobility of this 20-footer. It's only about 300 pounds, 500 pounds more than the 16-footer.
Yeah.
And to see that lady take off out of here on a Nissan SUV,
It's awesome. Yeah.
that was awesome. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I like the 16-footers because I can put a lot of them in the building. I don't got to worry about it. And it looks good.
And it looks cool, don't it?
He comes in here and goes, oh crap, there's a bunch of stuff in here.
Yeah.
But now we go to these
20-footers.
and they're like,
I'm disappointed.
There's not so many in the building.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
All right. Thank you, buddy. All right. Hey. All right. So just show him. He's cutting a window. Hey. Hang on 1 minute. Is he not beautiful, Tom?
I love Randy. He's a great man.
Aw, yes. All right, so everybody on our show, I want to show them how you're cutting that window out a little bit, all right?
Yes,
now, what kind of blade you got in there?
Got a metal blade, a 7-inch metal blade.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. And we like this saw because it keeps the shards from flying, right?
It keeps everything inside of here. You open it up. Has a little container to keep all the metal and everything inside of it to keep it getting in our lungs and stuff.
Yeah.
Keep it over our eyes.
Okay, there you go.
Yes, sir.
And then now, how do you, when you cut that, you just plunge it in there and go?
I'll line it up real good and I'll just pull the trigger and let the blade go into it pretty smoothly.
It makes it look real easy.
Yeah, I've got pretty good with this thing since I've worked here.
All right, we're gonna watch you do that, all right?
Yes, sir. So I line it up and then.
Yep. Yeah. Look at that. You got to hang on to it, don't you? He's nervous. So he starts in the middle, right? And then he plunge cuts it. So you tilt your saw where the tip of it, and then you lower that blade, and then he watches it, and then stops. Then he can turn it around, and he can slowly sink that blade into the previous cut that he had, right? And then run it to the other line and he can stop exactly where he wants it, right there. Then he'll take the saws off and he'll finish the corners up. Perfect. All right. Come on. I was talking while he was going, so we're good. Now this is the egress window up here. Here's the egress windows that we put in, and that's because there's a sleeping loft. Now the sleeping loft underneath is at 78 inches in the bottom, and when you put that 10-foot wall up there, we're about 43 to 40, I think, is it 45 inches, Tom? I can't, I've only measured it one time. So it's actually, you get more head space and more vertical height than a lot of our model homes and our stick built. And it is because the 2 inches, we get, our loft is a little bit thinner, and we're able to, and we lowered our windows to 76 inches tall instead of a normally is like 80, 84 in a residential home. All right. I love our siege tower. The guys are up on the top. They have everything they need for their metal. So they go from the walls, I mean from the floor to the walls to the roof. While the roof's going on, they're putting all their anchoring on the inside, getting it ready. And you know, we make this thing look really easy, right? Because we're really good at it. But there's a lot of little things that we're not showing you. It's just because it could be boring for you guys as viewers. But there's a lot of things that we've learned, so many tricks to this that makes this thing fluid and go. And every single one of these guys have got a task that they're taking care of. Come on, I'm going to show you. They've learned how to do it very efficiently and good, and we're always getting better every day, right? So on this division, we make all of our interior walls. So as you can see, I love how this is going. This is an interior wall of a bathroom kitchen area. So this is where our shower valve is. Over here is where our bathroom and our kitchen light are. This is our plug for our air conditioner on that wall that I designed to go over the bathroom or the kitchen window. So all of that's done. They even have the shower head, which is this plumbing right here, right? Which will hook on to your shower valve when they install this wall. And the shower valve will be right up there to screw your shower head in. Wow, there's just a lot going on here. Yeah, I know.
I think there's a finished gray one outside that we could show.
Okay, yeah, we'll go out and show a finished gray one.
It should be punched out.
I wanted to show up here, yeah, really quick. Hey, let's go up there real quick. Can we go up there? Yeah, let's go up top. It gives a different perspective up there looking down. Look, who's painting it? Black. Oh my God. I never paint anything. All right, so what we did is we built this for our solar power. Man, I didn't know we were painting everything. Look at this. So this right here is as we call it, the drawbridge, and it slides. I want to move, but it'll slide out, and we can take all of our solar panels and carry them right out there onto a house instead of having a lift or a ladder or anything. We take the solar panels, because that roof right there, see the guys, that's Tylene, he's up there. Well, what's going to happen is it's going to move here. We'll push this out, we're going to have a track. The guy has a harness. He hooks his harness. He walks out with his solar panels. He's able to screw it all down, get all the solar done. Then we can come back. It makes it more efficient and fluid. Also, as soon as those panels are on, we're going to make this where we have 3 lines here. So we got the main line for the regular. Then we're going to have 2 lines for the solar, because the solar has these other technicality things you got to put together. You got to put, you know, the water system in it. You got to put the gas tankless water heater, the compost toilet, you know, all that stuff in there. So we better get out of here before he paints us in. But that's why we pull them off to the side, and we can keep trucking these other ones out and make it work. But hey, let's go show that one you talked about. Okay. I can't believe we're painting. That's something else. You know, I was out in, seen you guys in Fresno, and it was so cool just for me to validate what we've been able to do here.
This will be the third line.
Yeah, that's, okay, yeah. 1, 2, 3, so we're gonna have a second line here and then a third line here, and we can add amenities or what we call it upgrades to certain things. And so we're
Our compost toilet pallet.
yes. See, so we're getting ready to make this third line out. This is the one we talked about earlier. It's got a dark panel, and then we put this silver trim. And we all like this stuff as guys. Oh, you got one out there too? Yep, there's one out there too. We'll show you. But you can see, even if you all at home painted the panels a different color than your trim, you don't even have to add wood trim to it. You could paint this and paint this a different color, and you're gonna get the same contrast as what we're doing here with our trim and our panels that come this color, you know, just from the factory. All right, here's a tongue box that I made out there before. And we've had an issue with these tongue boxes. So if you want a tongue box, I'm going to tell you, they're not good for traveling. All right, because if you make a sharp turn, that corner is going to hit your bumper. Now, we've always known that, right? When we started building these, we didn't think about it because we got a 100-gallon tank we're putting in there. So our old tongue boxes for our older homes always had a taper. They couldn't come out this far. They would only come here and go back. Now, what we're going to try to do to remedy that, we're going to actually make our tongue longer. So we're getting with our trailer manufacturer, and we're going to see if we can add, what do you think, Tom, a foot? Maybe a foot to this, and that'll allow the truck to be away from this tongue box, because we really can't make it any smaller. It's super efficient. It's made out of scraps, which is still needed. It's not just scrap we got to go. They still have to be machined in a way to make them fit, right? We use scrap to make them, machine them, make them work. But it's a double floor insulated. Everything has to be done right. But I just wanted to let you know, if you do get a box on that, be careful, because I had to buy a new bumper while I was out in Fresno.
And the same goes for all our tongue boxes in the past. I mean, you still have to be careful even though we angled them.
Yeah, like the one on yours?
Yeah.
You angled. Did you have a problem with yours at all?
No, because I've traveled in them, so I was over
Yeah.
there. And,
I don't know. I was out in Fresno and I turned that thing and I was like,
sometimes if you're in a tight
dang it.
spot, you don't have a choice.
oh yeah, yours is, hell, look at that. That looks awesome. But this takes a whole lot more time to build. You know, we're trying to build that box for efficiency, and it won't freeze. Your stuff here, if you guys want, we're not even going to manufacture these right now. It just takes time. I remember Tumbleweed, they had come down and patent their tongue box because they're that involved, you know? And so to get a system down and how you want, like cutting this door. Look at this door. You've got your trim, you got a door, there's trim, there's hinges, there's a lock, there's trim in here that's screwed off with all this, you know, the door stop on it. All this has to be thought out. Then underneath here, you got this angle, it's turned in, you got corner. There's a lot to it. A lot to it. Oh, we got several of them dark ones out here. Ah. About done? I think we're good.
33.
33. I just wanted to let you guys see. I got back today and was really excited about seeing the houses. I miss being here, really do. I mean, I love the manufacturing part of this. I love the carpentry. As you guys can see, one of our model homes over here, that was one of our first ones that Joseph built. It's at Charleston. And to see that mixed with our Incred-I-Boxes, Tom's house right here, which is a complete off-grid. And, you know, people are excited about doing that. We had a guy that was installing our shower doors, our showers, and repairing any cracks we might have. And he went to a mountain biking convention. He said, oh my God, Randy, we could have had them. He said people would have loved that off-grid, you know. So I'm finding that there's more and more places that these things would be so accepted there for 20 grand. And then you add your off-grid, complete off-grid for 10 more. What, 12.5? Yeah. 12.5. The solar went up $2,500. That's what went up. So everybody was buying their homes before Halloween. We have went up $2,500. That's all we've done. So if you wanted a complete off-grid, it's $12,500. That's with a 5K battery. Here, let's look at this, Tom. And then I want to show you, compared to that at Charleston there, a little bit, because I do love our models. I'm not forgetting about our models. We love to sell them. We need to sell them. I just wanted to get from Fresno to here because we took an Incred-I-Box out to Fresno, and it was so well accepted out there. But here's another one that's completely done with the gray panels. Now, you can't request one of these right now. We don't know when we're going to get a gray panel. So it's just something that just happened to show up, and there you have it. I like it that it's giving you guys and us an idea of the contrast, that if you just paint the corners or the trim of their house and the panels, and how good it looks, right? It looks really nice. All right, and then we got our Charleston. Now the Charleston, you guys, this is the faux rafters. When I was out in Fresno, Naomi took Amanda and I around these subdivisions, and their homes are all built like this. This is a California type of construction. It was built back in the 30s and 40s. Guys coming home from the war, and then the guys come home from war were carpenters, and they started throwing in, and they can see all of the corbels. See, this is a corbel bracket, faux rafters, top and bottom. You got your offset, you got your freeze boards. All that makes this home look so warm. My whole philosophy behind tiny homes is to take a home to build small that looks like a big house, right? It's hard to do when you've got restrictions of height of only 13.6. And then we put our own restrictions of width. You know, mobile homes will go up to 16-foot wide, double wides, and all that stuff. I like to go about 10-foot wide. We don't really like to go too much wider than that. 12 foot's really hard to haul down a road. It costs a lot of money. And so when we got those restrictions of 10 and 13.6, and then you're wanting to look like a real home, you know, a real home can be 30, 40 feet tall. And it gives all that beautiful, you know, pitch and roofs and sheds and all that, just makes it look like a real carpenter's home. So I think taking the challenges and the restrictions that we have into building a house, look up here. So you've got your dormer, just a little thing I want you guys to think about. And the reason I'm saying this is so many people, so they say, Randy, I like how you point things out that I wouldn't have thought about, because I'm a carpenter, I've been in the trades for a while. It's like, so this pitch of this, or the tip of that roof, the top of it, right? Of this one back here, it goes under the dormer, right? And then the dormer looks like it's higher. Well, still, we're at 13.6. So now we can go a little bit taller. If people are staying here, we'll go to 14 or 13.10. You know, we'll add 4 or 5 inches to it. And that's what we're doing. We're kind of cheating, because if you're going to haul a house that's 10 foot wide, and with our overhangs, we're going about, what, 11.8, 11.10.
Yeah, as long as we're staying under the 12 and then under 14.
So we kind of push 12 to 14, but 12 is the outside of our gutters. So we stay under 12 width, and they measure outside the gutter to gutter, and in the height, we'll build a 14, but then we come off our jacks and everything, we get down to about 13.10, right? So, but just the 2 variations of that roof, that had to be done on this end first, because that roof has to be squatted down, right? And then the dormer will be up a little bit taller, and it goes over top of it, which is awesome in waterproofing. So that ridge cap goes under there. They're not tying into it. And that one ridge cap way up on the top of that dormer is all sealed, vent, Lexold. Love the whole process, right? This has taken years for us to do those little bitty details that makes this home. Now, I was at the home show. I did not see any tiny homes that had faux rafters, freeze boards, variations in their pitches of their roofs, adding dormers on here that changes the roof lines from one to the other, and having the faux rafters up here, the freeze board up underneath, and the different color from a freeze board to a natural underneath your soffit, to then you get your board and batten for your siding. And you put all that together, it makes this home have a lot of character. And that's what happens if you take I remember my buddy of mine, his dad was a carpenter back in the 40s, right? And he said you could always tell a home that wanted to save money, because on the gable end, there was no overhang. All they did is put a fascia tight up against it. My pet peeve was so many tiny home builders do that. They don't put gutters on them. I don't think I've seen any with gutter at the show. And when it comes to a gable end, they won't extend it out like this is extended out. This actually protects your home from the wind, the rain, the sun coming on here. That gable up underneath there will probably never see rain and very little bit of sun. So it's going to preserve all of those areas that could be prone to leaking, right? Now this one is a Craftsman style. It's this big green one. Now, at the home show, I didn't see any have a reverse gable like that. Now that reverse gable is like, you didn't need it. Structurally, it doesn't need that. You know, aesthetically, I think it gives it back a little bit of a homey look that we like, and then we extend that as almost a 12-inch overhang. So I put that gable, that we call that a reverse gable, is to give that house some feel of a normalcy of a house. It's not just a big block square, you know, and that's how we've always done most of our Craftsman style homes. So in doing that, there's a lot of work. You've got to frame it, you got to paint it, you know, you've got to trim it out, you got to put a roof on it. There's just a lot of work in that right there. You're a couple days work, and you think about it, you add that to a course of 50 to 100 homes a year, that adds up to a lot of money. Me, Tom, how we like to do things, we like for them to look different. We want them to be like a carpenter's home. So
there's a good example behind it that doesn't have it, but it's got the egress window there.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Same style.
Yep. So, and we couldn't put a reverse gable on that because of that egress. Yeah. So you can see that one back there is kind of boxy, and that's a Craftsman style home. And the reason we used to call them Craftsman, we just made them bigger because they got a drop axle, and we just named them that. But that's an example of exactly, we did not put a reverse gable. And there was a lot of those at the show. And the reason guys do that is because they're wanting to get as much volume, drop axle, you get it all on there. Why throw money on the outside of a house when they want to put stuff on the inside? Totally understand it. My pet peeve is, I just want it to look good on the outside too. And
they've got a nice big picture window.
Huge. Yeah. And just go right back to here again, Tom, and show this model again after seeing the old style that we used to do. And now looking at this thing, and just look at all the different cuts and the trim and the corbels and the dormers and the freeze boards and the different siding. It is cool looking. Yeah. Everybody, thank you. I just want to call it quits here today. I'm going to go lay down. I've been up, man. I've had 3 hours of sleep. Great to be back home. Thank you for Fresno people. You guys made us feel like California was our home. I swear. I got there. The people were just so nice. I can't tell you how many people just wanted to pray. They did. They wanted to say, we think about you, pray for you. And I said, you know, I'm not against prayer. I love prayer. Anybody wants to put a blessing on me, rain it on me. I need all the prayer and all the support and love that we can get. And I just want to thank everybody for doing that. We heard stories of people's lives that has actually been touched by our homes and the cost that we're doing. And so many people, I love California, but I don't live there. I don't know what it takes to live there, right? It's a pretty beautiful place, but there's so many people wanting to move towards Tennessee, you know, and they need a house to live in. They need a lot to live in, and I'm doing all I can. So believe me, in the back of my mind, I'm seeing what I can do to spread our theory of affordable housing and a place to put it across the country for $200 a month. And I would love to be able to do $200 a month in California, right? In the highest housing district in probably the country, and bid it for $200. So we're trying. I got it in our head. We're going to try to get this down. Once we get this down here, then that's going to give us the ability to branch out and really venture into other things. So, all right. I want to thank you for watching this show. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow we're going to do some little technical stuff. Tomorrow's a Q&A. Amanda will not be here. She's going to, like I said, she's going to New Mexico for a wedding. But we're going to do a Q&A. I'm going to show you some stucco procedures. All this week we'll be doing some technical things I think you'll like, and we're going to do some walkthroughs. I'll be going to the Amish country Friday. So subscribe to this channel. If you want to see what we're doing, we'll come in a notification button and you'll be able to keep up with all this information. And listen, we sell a home for 20 grand. 8x16 Incred-I-Box, $20,000. So if you know somebody that needs a home, an elderly person, a family member, young, just starting out in their life, these things are worth it. You can buy an Incred-I-Box, put a couple hours of sweat equity into it and sell it and get your money back and make some money. All right. I'm going.
All right.
See you guys.